Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. So today I have a testing new makeup video. Now not everything I have here is brand new. There is a few bits that I haven't bought. It's just because it's been Christmas, so I have quite a bit of new makeup that I want to try out. So I thought I would make quite a good video if you were to try it along with me. Before I start, can I just say, if I have any white bits in my hair, I've just put dry shampoo in and for some reason some bits just won't blend in. It just is not happening. So we're just going to roll with it. If there is any white bits, just ignore it. That is the worst thing about having brunette hair and using white dry shampoo. Wouldn't recommend. So first of all, I'm just going to moisturise my face. I'm going to use the Speed Plump by Soap & Glory. This is what I always use. This is actually an old one, but I did buy a new one, so it kind of can be cast, but this is literally what I always use. I never change my moisturiser. I think after I've put this on, I'm going to get a headband because otherwise this is not going to go very well. So starting off with, I'm going to try this. Now I've not tried this before or anything. This is from The Ordinary and it's called, what is it actually called? High Adherence Silicone Primer. I think it's kind of like a skincare item, but it can be used as a primer as well. I bought this off Cult Beauty. I'm not sure on the price, so I'll leave all the prices and the links down below in case you want to try it out yourself. Says it's a high adherence blurring surface smoother and primer. It's supposed to fill your pores in, which if you've watched my videos before, I've recently started using the Benefit Professional. However, I think that's quite expensive for what it is, so I thought I'd try this out, and it's so well priced as well. So this is what it looks like in the packaging, and I've never actually used this brand before either, so I'm intrigued to use this. Oh my god, I've just tried to squeeze it out and I was like, why is this not coming out? It's got one of them things on the end. I'm just going to put it where I have pores. Kind of feels tacky, which is when you know you've got a good primer. First impressions, obviously you can't really tell with a primer straight away, but this feels really nice on my skin. It's a tiny bit tacky, which always means your makeup's going to stick to it. So I will let you know as I get on with this. On to foundation. I don't actually have a new foundation, so I'm going to use my L'Oreal True Match because this is actually my favourite foundation ever. This is actually a new bottle, so I mean that does kind of count, but this is just the one I'm going to use today because I just know it works, and it's best to kind of use a foundation to test all the skin products out that I have that I know works. So I'm just going to blend that in with my beauty blender. This is literally my perfect shade when I'm fake tanned. It is the shade 3W Golden Beige. So that is foundation done. Next I'm going to move on to concealer. So I don't have a new concealer either, so I'm just going to use the NYX Sculpt and Highlight, but the concealer end, and this one is just in the shade Vanilla. This isn't a really highlighting one for my skin tone. I'm going to blend this in again with my beauty blender. To set that all in place, I'm going to use a new product. So this is raved about. I've seen it raved about so much on YouTube. Let me just get a tissue to wipe this foundation off my hand. I've seen this raved about so much on YouTube. I've literally just got foundation fingerprints all over it. But I've not used this before. This is from Beauty Bakery and this is the flour powder. Now I've seen Holly Boone rave about this so much and I know she loves it. Mine is in translucent and I actually kept the packaging so it came this morning to show you how cute it was, right? It came in this little flower packet, like can we just appreciate, and then it was like rolled down like this. I mean it's not going to stay there now, but it actually looks like a little flower packet, and it's got like nutrition facts and then it's got like baking tips. I just thought it was really cute. I'm just going to bake with this underneath my eyes, I think. Seems it is. From Beauty Bakery, I feel like you have to. One side, I feel like I need a bit more. I feel like the pot of this is quite small and you need quite a bit, so I don't know how well it would last. But then that's just me, I like to use quite a lot of powder. Well, I just set it, I'm going to get a brush and just set the rest of my face with the same powder. All I'm going to do is just buff it in. You can't see the powderiness of it, so it just really smooths out your skin. So I'm going to get rid of it underneath my eyes. So next, staying onto the skin front, I'm going to use the Makeup Forever Pro Bronze Fusion. Now this came the other day, I've only used it once, just to kind of test it. This is in the shade 25i Cinnamon, which means it's iridescent. Now I've seen Hannah Renee, I don't know if any of you watch her, but if you don't, you definitely should. I'll leave her channel down below. And she literally raves about this, so I really wanted to try it. And look how pretty it looks in the pan. Go in a bit more with this than what you would with anything else, but then I do kind of feel like that's because I'm at the top of the pan, so you know how it's kind of not as pigmented when you're at the top. So I'm going to take a big bronzing brush and just put a bit down my neck as well, just so I match. This is something which I'm literally so excited to try because I feel like I'm the last person, that was like a bit of a sneak then, I feel like I'm the last person ever to try this. So this is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Glow Kit. Now, I've literally wanted one of these in so long, and it's just kind of one of them things that I never bought, and I don't know why. So I've got one in Sun Dip. These are kind of the shades, well, not kind of, they are, they're the shades here. So this, well, basically I use really light highlights now, and I don't seem to have one when I'm tanned, because sometimes it can just look like a white streak on my face. So I decided to buy this one in Sun Dipped, and I don't know if you can tell, but I literally couldn't wait and dip my fingers in the products, and it only came this morning. This is what the palette looks like. It is literally so pretty. I apply this with the Real Technique setting brush, which is what I always use for highlight. I was just about to choose the shades, and then apparently the camera got too excited as well and stopped recording. So I started to say I'm going to use these shades. I think I'm going to mix Summer here and this one here, which I can't pronounce. It's like tourmaline. So I'm just going to apply. Guys, can you see that? What? I need to do the other side. That is literally so pretty. I can see why these palettes are so hyped about now, because this literally looks incredible. 10 out of 10 would recommend this. It's literally so pretty and so glowy. And then for my eyeshadow palette, I'm going to use the Soph Does Nails, which I finally got my hands on. If anybody has been trying to get this palette, it's literally impossible. It wasn't in stock on Superdrug online every time I went on. It was never in a store. It was nowhere. So I went into a store and I was shopping, and I finally found it, so I picked it up. And can I just say, I have had this for like a week and a half maybe, and Soph did such a good job. And I'm not gonna lie, I've literally made a mess of this already. Don't mind like all the shimmers that have like MAC Fix Plus in them. I'll just say as well, I have no idea what look I'm going to go for, which is why I'm wearing a black top again, because then you can just wear whatever you want. Then I'm going to go in with the shade Cup of Tea, which is this one here, which is such a cute name. What I'm going to do is blend that through the crease, just as my initial transition shade. So next I'm going to go in with the shade, what is this one called? Pug. Also a cute name, which is, let me just get my brush so you can see. This shade right here, this like browny cool tone colour. I'm going to take the same brush, but just put this a tiny bit lower than I did with the other shade. Take a different blending brush, it's actually the same brush, I just have two of them, and blend them so there's no harsh lines. Then I'm going to take a mix of the shade Mug Cake and Nightmare. This one here is Mug Cake, and then Nightmare is like this one. And on a Spectrum B04, which is kind of like, sorry about how dirty it is, it's like angled. So I'm going to mix the two together and then put it on the outer corner first, and also the inner corner to make kind of a halo eye. Don't know what I was trying to say then. Sorry about this being too neat, because we are going to go with concealer in a minute to kind of clean it up. And I'm going to go back in with that clean blending brush and just give it a blend. I'm going to do this eye, and then I can go off camera and do this eye, because otherwise it's just going to take ages. So I'm going to take concealer Just using the same one again, which is the NYX one. I'm also going to take this really small brush. This is also from Spectrum and it's the A15. It's literally diddy, it's so small. All I'm going to do is just kind of create a lid space. So just carve it out. And now this also doesn't have to be too neat. I'm going to set that in place with the white shade that we used before, which was called Penguin. And I'm just using any flat shader brush for that. And I'm going to apply our lid shade. I actually love this palette for lid shades. It's one of my favourite for lid shades. As you can see, I've gone mad with most of them. But I think what I'm going to use today is this purple shade here, which I don't really wear purples on my eyes too often, but when I do, I feel like it really goes with brown hair. One thing I have got to say about this palette is I really feel like you need a bit of MAC Fix Plus for the lid shades or they're really not going to show up. So I'm just going to apply that where I put the concealer. Look at that, guys. Almost as a hazel one. Don't worry too much if you go over where the concealer is, just as long as you've got as much shimmer as you want. And then going in with the two shades we used for the halo, this one here and this one here, I'm just going to blend out the edges. Like so, and that is how I get a purple smoky eye. So I'm going to take this shade here, which is Rosewood, and I'm just going to take it underneath my lash line here and just smoke that out. Then I'm going to apply mascara, which is the Collection Lengthening. I always use this if I'm going to apply lashes. Also apply the same one to my bottom. And then for lashes, if you've watched my channel, you know exactly what I'm going to show you right now. These are the Doll Beauty lashes in Chloe Elizabeth, and they're literally the prettiest lashes ever. I'm going to apply these, do the other eye, and then I'll be back. Okay, so I'll sort out the rest of my eye makeup in a minute when my lashes are dry, because I didn't put eyeshadow on my lower lash line and then I put mascara on and it went wrong, and this eye went wrong, so we'll just roll. So I have got a few new lip products, however lip liner is not one of them, so I'm just going to line my lips with the Colourpop. Does anybody else do this? What are you doing? Colourpop lip liner. I'm not sure the shade of this, so I'll leave it down below. And I'm just going to overline with this. I don't want my lips at the minute because they're literally so sore from the weather. Then I'm going to use a MAC Velvet Teddy, which is such a throwback for me because I literally used to use this all the time, but this is not new either. I don't know if any of you can hear the rain right now, but outside it's literally tipping it down. Don't worry, the next few products I have for my lips are new. So the first one I'm going to use is the Sexy Mother Pucker Gloss, which you're probably thinking, Megan, you already have one of them, you use it every video. This one is in the shade Bare Enough, so it is a different one. It is actually a mini. Came in a little cracker at Christmas. I'm just going to apply this over the top. These are so good, they literally make you look like you just had lip fillers, which I'm all about. And then I'm going to apply the Jouer Skinny Dip Lip Topper. However, this one is in the shade Saint Tropez. These are like glittery toppers for your lips, and it's so pretty because I've had this about 2 weeks now. Literally the best thing. Make your lips look like so juicy and nice and yum. I'm just going to apply this to the middle. I also didn't say I did film my brows in off camera. If you want to see what I used, I will leave my brow routine down below in the description because it's always the same, so I didn't think there was any point showing it on camera. How nice is this lip combo? I'm just going to finish underneath my eyes because I didn't get a chance. So that's everything done, and then just to finish everything off, I'm going to use the Gerard Cosmetics Slay All Day Setting Spray. Now I actually have a story with this one, so I bought it quite a while ago, however I've only used it twice I think, but I think I actually might be allergic to this. I'm not sure. If anybody has this and has the same problem, please let me know. But every time I use it, it seems to just like burn a tiny bit here, like just only that eye, just there, it literally just burns. So I wanted to try it and see what it was like. This is the mango scent. So I wanted to try it and see what it was like. So if I, next video, have an allergic reaction, you all know why. Wish me luck. It does actually smell so bomb though. Like translucent powder and everything in my hair because I'm a mess. So this is the finished look. I've really enjoyed filming this, trying out loads of different products. I'm sorry if it didn't kind of all come together because at the end I did do quite a bit off camera. That bit on my eye that I was saying about is just starting to hurt. My favourite thing from this probably has to be the glow kit. But then coming a close second, I also actually really like the bronzer and I also really like the powder. So there wasn't anything that I'm like, I don't like you. I did like everything. Apart from that, if you did enjoy this video, I would love if you could give a big thumbs up and subscribe down below. I can't actually speak. I'd love if you could give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe down below. And I'll see you next week for a new video. Bye dolls!